San Andres Ermita Housing is a public housing project in San Andres, Manila, Philippines. It was built in the 1970s to provide affordable housing for low-income families in the city. The housing project consists of over 1,000 units arranged in 5-story buildings. San Andres Ermita Housing is located in a densely populated area of Manila. The surrounding neighborhood is home to a mix of residential and commercial establishments. There are several schools, hospitals, and markets in the area. The housing development received criticism for its poor state. Many of the units require maintenance. In addition, the project faces many social issues like crime and drug abuse. San Andres Ermita Housing continues to be an essential component of the community despite its local companies and community organizations based in the housing development. San Andres Ermita Housing State has recently been the focus of government efforts. The government has upgraded the security in the neighborhood and renovated several apartments. The government is also trying to solve the social issue in the housing projects.
To evaluate the case, we need to divide it into two sections, the socioeconomic factors and health and sanitation challenges. Socioeconomic factors. San Andres, Manila poverty is one of the major factors contributing to the formation of the slum area in San Andres, Manila. The high rates of poverty show that the current efforts to reduce it or create enough work opportunities are ineffective. It is challenging for people to live in formal settlements because of the absence of steady employment opportunities and acceptable pay. The proper affordable housing is also not working in the city. The inability to secure affordable housing within the city forces the individual to become an informal settlers. To increase the number of accessible and affordable housing alternatives, both public and private initiatives must be strengthened. Also, the proper urban planning and regulation of land use in San Andres, Manila are also ineffective, resulting in an unplanned growth of slum areas. Although San Andres, Manila has a problem of informal settlement, there is also a working factor that is happening in San Andres. The presence of informal economy provides a source of livelihood for many residents in slum areas. However, efforts should be made to formalize certain aspects of this economy to ensure better income security and social protection for those involved. This could lead to increased income and potentially improved living conditions for residents. Next is the health and sanitation challenges. When it comes to health and sanitation, San Andres, Manila sanitary is not working. Living circumstances that are too crowded and unclean provide serious health concerns. A serious problem that needs immediate action is the lack of access to safe drinking water and adequate sanitary facilities. San Andres, Manila are also lacking in proper education facilities and resources in slum areas indicates that the current effort to provide accessible and quality education are falling short. Educational disparities perpetuate that cycle of poverty and higher social mobility. Social equality is also not working in San Andres. The current social institutions do not sufficiently address the issue of how slum communities maintain social inequality. Through policies that support inclusion, diversity, and equitable opportunity for all, discrimination and constrained social mobility must be aggressively combated.
Here are the proposed solutions for San Andres. Attending to the basic needs of their people should number 1, lessen the patient count per day, the hospital for basic checkups. This will have a massive impact on the walking patients who come for basic checkups like the elderly, infants, and other illnesses that will be treated by over-the-counter medication. Number 2 is reduce the patient count over time, since basic healthcare needs are being taken care of by the LGU. Hypothetically, fewer and fewer patients come to the hospital. A community that personifies prevention is better. And number 3 is community is better. A healthy community is a happy community. Attending to the community's basic healthcare needs should make the youth become a lifestyle healthy. Fewer and fewer people will catch cold and could spread. Community will have low risk of serious illness transmission that they might catch in an overcrowded hospital. Another problem sa Andres, Manila is basic is their educational prioritization. If their education is being prioritized properly, there should be enough educators that will motivate the students.
Important things to consider is the client's income. As it was stated, this form of project could pair with different schemes in order to succeed, and one of the possible solution is the client. Slum dwellers most work under the government food production program. This allowed the slum dwellers to pay the low-cost housing of the government had offered. Second is the urban community development. Urban community development involve the toleration of Islam condition for a specific period of time instead of ignoring the problems that arise in slum dwellings. Through UCD, people are asked to improve their condition through aided self-help. In UCD, the government has already provided the basic infrastructures, amenities, roads, and other things. In return, the people contribute through the labor or fund in whatever construction is needed for the community. This kind of development is suited for the slum areas because it solves the basic problem in the slum through the effort of the people themselves. The relocation program has the low rate of success, but if they succeed, the following most ensured. First, a means of livelihood in relocation area that is good as far from slum area they came from. Second, if there is no immediate employment of the relocation area, a convenient transportation system from the work to the relocation area. Third, adequate facilities that revolves their basic needs. And lastly, provision of the new housings. The reason why some of the past relocation schemes seems to fail may be traced to the lack of some or worse, none of the above mentioned in the relocation area.
These are the government implementation for some areas such as slum upgrading, social housing, relocation, and microfinance. Slum upgrading involves improving the living condition for slum dwellers without displacing them. This can be done by providing a basic infrastructure and service with clean water, sanitation, electricity, and roads. Social housing is affordable housing that is provided by the government or other non-profit organization. Social housing can be used to provide new housing for slum dwellers to improve the quality of existing housing. This can be done in a good way to provide the slum dwellers with new affordable housing. Relocation involves slum dwellers to a new house outside the slum areas. This can be done by a voluntary basis or it may be a necessary relocation for slum dwellers involuntary. For example, if they're living in a dangerous area, relocation can be most effective way to improve the lives of slum dwellers, but this is also most the disruptive option. Microfinance is a financial service that provides the loan to small business and individuals. Microfinance can be used to help the slum dwellers improve their social housing conditions, such as making repairs of their homes or building new homes. This can be a helpful tool for slum dwellers who wants to improve their housing condition, but it is important to note that microloans can be difficult to repay. In conclusion, there is one-size-fits-all solution of improving the lives of slum dwellers. The best approach will vary depending on the specific circumstance of each slum community. However, a combination strategy is implemented as a sustainable, exclusive way can make it a real difference.
Executive Summary. The case study discusses the history of slums in San Andres Ermita, a public housing project in Metro Manila, Philippines, built to provide affordable housing for low-income families. The project consists of over 1,000 units in 5-story buildings in a densely populated area with schools, hospitals, and markets. Despite facing criticism for its poor state and social issues like crime and drug abuse, San Andres Ermita housing remains an essential component of the community, offering thousands of affordable accommodations for thousands of low-income families. The government has recently focused on upgrading security and renovating apartments, while also addressing social issues within the housing project. It was concluded that the poverty is a major factor in slum formation in San Andres, Manila, with high poverty rates, including ineffective efforts to reduce, create work opportunities, and adequate affordable housing and inadequate urban planning contribute to slum growth. An informal economy provides livelihood for many residents, but formalizing aspects could improve income security and social protection, leading to improved living conditions. San Andres, Manila also faces health and sanitation issues, including crowded living conditions, lack of safe drinking water, and inadequate educational facilities. Educational disparities perpetuate poverty and hinder social mobility. Social equality is also lacking, with current institutions failing to address slum communities' social inequality. Policies supporting inclusion, diversity, and equitable opportunity are needed. To combat the problems present in San Andreas, the government slum upgrading, social housing, relocation, and microfinancing are proposed, which will be further discussed in the preceding parts of the case study.